Alrighty then. Hello. So today we're going to be asking a very important question about how was fitness done back in the ancient Greece times. And fitness happens to be one of my favorite pastimes, hobbies, if you say so. But we're going to be looking into the fitness of 4000 BC up to 476 AD, and you're probably wondering why and how was this fitness done. But I'm going to answer those questions today, and so we're going to be looking into the main areas that we're going to be looking into. Are going to be Persia / Syria, Greece, along with Athens / Sparta. So our first location is going to be Persia. So Persia, they were some of the earliest recorded fitness regimes that they had around at this time, and so the military started these kids off at a young age, around 6 or so, and the training regimen was pretty much targeted towards hunting, marching, horseback riding, javelin throwing, and their main goal was to improve strength along with stamina. From here, I want you to think about two questions though. One, which time frame had the most effective workouts? And two, which time period had focused the best on each body part for the workouts and such like that? But that's to think about. So looking into our next region is going to be the Greeks. The Greeks as a whole, they had the same idea that they wanted a type of body that was going to be ideal for everyone. So some of the areas of Greece did have different ideologies, but the main one that they drove home was exercise for the mind and music is for the soul. And this was widespread throughout Greece. Everyone wanted to focus on different parts of their body. And then we also have some of the city states, so that's going to be Athens and Sparta. Athens are, they're known for being the more intelligent type of city state, but then we have Sparta. Sparta was the one that focused the most on the working out and the rigorous programs that they had. Much of the games I'm going to be explaining into next slide focus on muscular strength along with endurance. So from here, they had the mind-body connection along with trying to become the best with their ideal body types. And this drove deep for both sexes too, so males and females. Going on, some of the main sports that they actually had, early example of one of these sports that I didn't list on here was a traditional ball sport called epikidros, and then that's going to be, sorry if I butchered it, but it's going to be a traditional ball sport mixed in with American football along with soccer. So this was a whole hodgepodge kind of deal. And then from here we have some of the sports that were actually included because they had they were there as the Greeks were some of the earliest to instate the multiple game tournaments, almost like the Olympics, starting off in 776 BC with the game of goodness. I forgot. Stallion. Stallion was a 200-meter sprint. Then that's pretty much just going to be a sprint around the course. And then we also had Pale and then Plamicion. So Pale was basically Greek-style wrestling, and then Plamicion, Mission, that's going to be a Greek kind of boxing. Then they also added on Dilios, that's going to be a 400-meter sprint, and then the Pentathlon, that's going to be a 5 event, and that's going to be including discus, javelin, long jump, sprint, and wrestling. So this pretty much went on from 776 BC up to 520 BC, and there was a total of 9 games that were played in each one of the festivals. And before each one, anyone tried to participate in any one of these games or during the festivals, they had to at least take a vow that they train for 10 months or more and have a special diet on top of that. The diet consisted of whatever the gods ate at the time, almost like Zeus and such. Some notable quotes that were actually said at this time were some by the top society leaders that pretty much believed that a strong body and a healthy body comes from the mind too. So we have some as Socrates stating that no citizen has the right to be an amateur when it comes down to physical fitness. And then we even have Hippocrates up here, and he says that eating alone will not keep a man well, but exercise too. And this ran very deep into culture, since the Romans believed in the ideal body along with the strong military dominance. And this was so ingrained in the culture that all of Rome pretty much looked up to it, and so they all of Rome pretty much looked up to it, and so everyone had that idea that they had to get a perfect body. And then from here we also look just briefly into the male and female social dynamic feature. And so the females, they were believed if they were strong that their offspring were going to be strong. So both males and females, they had to have that level of fitness because it ran so important into the culture. And so when we look further on into it, this kind of started the downfall of the Greeks. The Greeks, they did have many problems, but sometimes the main one that I'm going to be focusing on is going to be the perfect body, the ideals. So the idea of having a perfect body did shift away from the Greeks at a time, because they started moving towards more materialistic things, and I found that kind of sad. But every great culture has to fall at a time. But the Greeks and the Romans, they were some of the most fit people in history. So when I really look at it, I don't believe that there would be a more fit society for a long while than the Greeks were. And so when we go back and answer the questions, I do believe that the Greeks had some of the strongest and noteworthy fitness regimes, and they actually had some of the best programs because they had the most effective workouts, focusing on each body part for each sport, and then going on into trying to be their best self, connecting themselves with the mind and such. So I do ask if they didn't shift away from this whole ideal of having materialistic things, that they would still be around, or if we would have a strong society, or a fitness oriented society like that. But we never know. But overall, that's the end of my slide. Here's my works cited page. It was a great pleasure working on this assignment, and thank you for listening to me ramble and talk. I hope you all have a nice day now. Goodbye.